Hello again, and welcome to my 5th lesson on how to get started as a voice actor in 2026. If this is your first time seeing this, then be sure to pick up the free 2026 calendar to follow along with all the lessons I have to get you started as a voice actor this year. Last time, I talked about how to find your vocal range and how to find your voice. Today, I want to go more in depth in ways that voice actors find their money-making voices. Something that you should be practicing right now. Again, no more silly voices or impressions anymore. We want you to find your real unique voice and turn it into a money maker. So focus on your own voice, your own humor, and personality to boost those unique traits. The best way to do that is to look at professional voice actors to see what they do to perform in their genres. Now, just a very important disclaimer here. When you practice delivering lines like these, voice actors, do not copy their voice. Again, we are not trying to impersonate them. We are only trying to learn what techniques work for us as we practice copying their deliveries. It's the techniques that are the money-making tools that make a performance sound good. Tone is only half the battle, and it may be best to open these in new tabs for you to reference this week if you're using a browser. Again, don't copy the voice. Pay attention and practice their delivery. Pay attention to the 8 vocal aspects to figure out how they set their voice and match the tone and delivery for the read. Also, a quick disclaimer for YouTube, I will not be using the full clips of this. I'm only going to be using a small fraction or just the audio in some cases and not the videos. So that way it adheres to YouTube's copyright and fair use policy. All of the links and credits to these video samples, by the way, are in the description if you want to see the full thing. Okay, first off, let's look at some well-known narration experts. David Attenborough is probably a familiar name. He is the king of documentaries. But listen to this contrast of narrations he did when he was newer to the trade than now.
2 million fursuits come here to breed, and at the end of summer, the beaches are thronged with young pups and their mothers.
We can barely imagine a whale's life, let alone what's in their mind. One man is ready to try. It's a journey into the deepest thinking. There's ingenuity, risk, and reward. Whales have loving families, rivalries, and music. Putting it all together, what emerges is the unexpected.
See the difference? The second one builds atmosphere and tension and suspense, making you want to stay for the next scene. And Jen Taylor is no different. Listen to how her voice technique changed over 10 years.
That wasn't supposed to happen.
Oh, really?
Cortana.
I've spent the last 12 hours cooped up in here watching you toady about, helping that thing get set to slit our throats.
Hold on now. He's a friend.
Oh, I didn't realize. He's your pal, is he? Your chum?
Cinder. When I chose you as my vessel for the maidens, I put my trust in you. So I trust that you wouldn't possibly return to me empty-handed.
Now, she may do more character work than narration, but I have heard her narrate before, and holy cow, can she pull the audience into the story with the warmth and emotion of her voice. So for those of you who are new out there, just because your performance doesn't sound professional at first, doesn't mean it couldn't land you in a well-paying career, and it doesn't mean your voice won't get better later. So take heart and put your heart into the practice so you can achieve your dreams. Next up, audiobooks. As I stated in Lesson 2, audiobooks are an amalgam of everything. They are full of character voices, so you need to get good at personalities and accents, and not to mention storytelling and narration, if you want to do good in this genre. And no one, in my opinion, does it better than Marc Thompson. I am an absolute sucker for Star Wars, and I have personally had to choose a couple of times between him and another voice actor for the books. One actor couldn't pronounce the names right because the actor never actually saw Star Wars, but Marc studies it and geeks out about his love for the franchise, and he brings voices that nearly match the characters you hear on the big screen. This makes him lauded by Star Wars fans. While the voices he does are not perfect impressions, they are enough to make a reader believe that they are actually hearing the characters interact, and this skill has landed him a very solid career. So keep in mind when you do a voiceover for a fan work, the fans expect good knowledge of the franchise and will hold you to it. Listen to what he has to say about doing voiceover for audiobooks.
Do or do not, there is no try. Audiobooks surround us. Fill our ears with the force.
Hi, my name is Marc Thompson. I'm a voice actor, and I have narrated over 27 Star Wars audiobooks. I think I've done over 100 voices for the Star Wars books. Each book has roughly 30 to 40 different characters that I need to try to make distinct.
You will join me and learn the power of the dark side. Chewie, get the hyperdrive light up. Come on. It's a trap.
The voices for me come from, I watched a lot of TV growing up, so a lot of it comes from that. I go to Wikipedia a lot and look at the pictures of the aliens and the characters, and that inspires a lot of the characters that we create.
Well, I got a call from my agent, and she said, have you ever done an audiobook before? And I said, no. And she said, well, would you like to do a Star Wars audiobook? And I was like, yes, please. I'm a huge Star Wars fan, and I auditioned. And I always tell people I think I got the part because I could do the character voices, but I had to fight to keep the part by learning how important the narration and the prose was, because that was something I was not used to, and the skill of becoming a storyteller, not just making the voices for different characters when they speak, but really trying to help the narration have just as much importance as the dialogue in a scene that you might see in a play or a film. I think the most challenging thing about doing audiobooks is trying to maintain your energy, because you're in the booth, or at least I'm in the booth for about 4 days from 10 a.m. till 6 at night. Some people can read much faster than that, but I can't. I get very dyslexic and stumble over my words and all that. So it's very challenging to keep your energy up.
Slowly, silently, its lights a faint glitter of life amid the darkness. The Imperial Star Destroyer Chimera glided through space. Empty space. Oppressively dark space. Long, lonely light years from the nearest of the tiny islands that were the star systems of the galaxy, drifting at the edge of the boundary between the outer rim worlds and the vast regions of territory known as unknown space. Standing beside one of the Chimera's side viewports, Admiral Pelion, Supreme Commander of the Imperial Fleet, gazed out at the emptiness, the weight of all too many years pressing heavily across his shoulders. Too many years, too many battles, too many defeats. Perhaps the Chimera's bridge crew was feeling the weight too. Certainly the sounds of activity going on behind him seemed more muted than usual today.
Now, I'm not too familiar with many female voice actors in the audiobook industry, but here's one that is very good at what she does. Listen to her voice and try to figure out how she is making her voice attractive to her listeners.
David Paul. 2 first names make it hard to search. He said he worked in IT, so he knew how to avoid having a digital footprint. And why did he want to do that? What had happened to him in his past? Damaged people find each other. I kept thinking about that.
Now for a special segment. For those of you with speech impediments, or if you think you have a weird voice, sometimes this is exactly what companies are looking for. Sometimes that uniqueness can be your superpower. My favorite voice actor with a stunningly unique voice is Richard Horvitz. If you grew up in the 2000s, this guy had some very memorable characters. Just listen to these with your eyes closed and see if you can guess which character he is voicing.
Been nice working with you, Gurr. Now self-destruct. Happy Father's Day! Well, I wanted to party with you guys, and I figured this would be the perfect opportunity. Hey, when did you get foreheads? I want to kiss them. I'm going to help you find it. Let's begin, shall we? Looking for the gold sumo slammer card? Duh.
What makes Richard so interesting is that you can immediately tell that it is him just by his unique voice. But at the same time, he has generated some really interesting quirks and sayings for his characters, to the point where people can distinguish each character just by the way their voices swing and by the way their personalities exhibit. This is what you want to aim for when creating character range. And Tara Strong is an equally strong example. Just listen to these voices too with your eyes closed and see if you can guess which character she is doing.
No amount of therapy will ever make this moment okay. Hey, the news is on!
Evil beware. We have waffles.
What are the 6 elements of harmony? 5 turtlenecks and a cheese grater? Not if I can help it. It's hero time! Go! My Yankee! My Yankee!
What do you want, B-Man? Come to stick the knife in some more?
And it's my job to catch you up before you stand trial for your crimes.
In my honest opinion, she is the queen of my childhood characters. She is an amazing example to learn from in doing the off-the-wall noises and characters and how to act when performing a line.
All right, Tara, in this one, Rocky's at a mountaintop. He gets swatted by the monster tail. He falls, tumbles and rolls, and falls off another ledge, falls another bunch of feet, and then crashes. All right, watch my hands.
I'll watch you.
Here comes the... Perfect.
That we're ripping off.
When you're voice acting, you have to tap into the ability to make something believable without it being there. It's a completely different art form than on camera. You have to let the audience feel what it's like to fall off a cliff without there actually being a cliff there. Like, you gotta have to be willing to play around and not afraid to look silly. And then once you create a character, in my experience, they like live up in my brain and they're just ready to come down when it's their turn. So I don't confuse them. They all are their own entity.
For the rest of you looking for more mainstream and reliable work you don't have to break into, the commercial genre is going to be your bread and butter. And honestly, it should be for most voice actors starting out. My favorite of these is Pete Gustin. Holy cow, you want an inspirational VA? Pete is the man for the job. He has done countless voiceovers for trailers and promos, and he even does it on the road. Best part of all, Pete is actually blind. No, I didn't stutter. You heard me right. He is disabled. He is actually legally blind. He can barely see anything due to a degenerative disease of his eyes, but he still makes 6 figures just doing voice acting in his house. Take a look at this and tell me what you think.
A lot of times when people find out I'm a voice actor, they're like, oh yeah? What would I know you from? And I'm like, I do a lot of stuff. And they're like, sure.
When their world is in chaos. Good morning, Bellwood. Someone in this family isn't going to survive. We're talking NFL football. Do not fear. I shall tow your car.
If you want to hear more about Pete's adventures, he has his own YouTube channel, which I'll include in the description below, where he actually goes out and surfs blind.
I wish I had something better than a stick. You know what's better than a stick?
Tell me.
Eyes.
Now, last but not least, another one of my personal favorites is Melissa Moats. She is insanely good at what she does, and if you've ever been in Vegas, there's an insanely good chance that you have heard Melissa's voice before.
The search for the next big designer is on. It's the chance of a lifetime. Only one can win. Project Runway All-Stars, tomorrow at 9 on Lifetime. Stay in your current home or move on to something new. That is the problem the experts need to solve. Watch David and Hillary on an all-new Love It or List It, Monday at 9 on HGTV. Driven to manipulate. Fueled by the desire to control others. Which ones are most evil? Next, only on Investigation Discovery. There's a new place for you and your kids. The place for fun and adventure, where everyone can laugh and learn.
That sounds fantastic.
Cubo Kids Corner, Sunday mornings at 9/8 Central on ION Television.
There's a good reason why she voices over half the stores in Las Vegas. Anytime I saw her doing a voiceover in person, her trademark smile and warm tone were always present during and after the read. This is what sells most of her advertisements. Pay attention to what mouth expressions you are using when you are doing a read. Even I'm smiling right now as I do this. Believe it or not, listeners can actually hear the difference of when you smile and when you don't. Always think of what expression to put on and convey as you do your read in order to sell the emotion. Always remember that your goal as a voice actor is to try to form a connection with the listener to the story that you're trying to tell. Now, there are many more different voice actors out there who are great to learn from. So if you don't know of any, this list right here that I'm putting up will help you find more voice actors to learn from. Again, do not copy the voice actor's voice, but try to practice their deliveries in your own voice and personality to find out what works best for you. Record it and play it back to listen to it to see if you're on the right track. Keep an eye out for those techniques this week so that way you can add some to your voice acting tool belt. And if you want more videos on how to be able to read a script, how to be able to adjust for certain audiences, and how to adjust your tone for a script, be sure to check out my Patreon where I have more deep dives into the subject, and more that are just too long for YouTube. This algorithm is really difficult to get a hang of. So as always, please like and subscribe so you can stay tuned with everything that I've got rolling out. And if you like what I do, please feel free to leave a comment. I really wouldn't mind getting to know my viewers and what they like to see. I'm Tategami, and thanks again for watching. I hope to see you in Lesson 6, Mic Technique and How to Read a Script. Keep up the fantastic work, and I will see you in the next one. Thanks for watching. If you want to continue to join me on my voice acting journey, then don't forget to subscribe to me on YouTube or join my Patreon for more videos where you can hear practice reads, blooper reels, or even my experiences of getting into voice acting. Who knows, maybe you can even join this disabled guy on his journey. Thanks again, and as always, stay safe out there.